Hi, Kate. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing good. It's so nice to meet you. I've had a little chance to read over some of your information. So it sounds like you, well, I guess let's start out with why are you here today?
Well, it's kind of at the urge of my doctors and families, but I've also kind of been brought more aware about it. I'm not really keeping up with my diabetes care, and it's been causing some problems, not just health-wise, but um, just life in general. It's starting to become a problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's understandable. So you said that it's causing some problems. So what problems outside of the physical, health-wise?
It's just causing a lot of worry and stress on my family members. When I'm not at home, they always wonder if I'm keeping up with it or if they're going to get a call that something's happened and I've been sent to the hospital or something like that. So it's just, they're extra stressed and worried, and then that stress and worry rubs off on me and makes me angry,
Mm-hmm.
frustrated.
Mm-hmm. So it sounds like they're pretty frequently checking in on you, and
hmm
that gets frustrating when you feel like they have to check in on you.
Yeah, it's like I'm a grown woman. I feel like I can manage by myself and make these decisions by myself.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need others making that for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean that's definitely this is your life, and you're the one who can make your choices, and you're an adult and an independent person. So I can see why that would make you feel like like your independence is being taken away a little bit
hmm
by that. That makes sense. So you did mention just a little bit ago that you've realized that maybe it's starting to cause some issues. So um, for you, what does that look like? What are the issues that you see by not taking your medication?
it's really just like I feel like I'm not able to be as productive at work, just because I'm feeling all these symptoms of not really taking care of myself. Had a few trips to the ER because I'm not taking my medication or my insulin shots, and so that's bumping up insurance and all that stuff. So it's money and it's health concerns and the impact it's having on all aspects of my life, really.
Mm-hmm. So, I guess just so I can have a better understanding, how long have you had diabetes?
I got diagnosed about 5 years ago.
Okay. And when you first got diagnosed, were you compliant with medications then?
I wasn't 100%, but I was definitely more compliant than I am now. I mean, I would maybe miss a couple insulin shots here and there and miss some medication, but it wasn't to the extent now. Um, in the past 6 months or so, it's really become worse, with more doctor visits and trips to the ER and things like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, is there anything that happened or any like reason you can identify as to why it's become more difficult to take your medication?
I mean, there's really no reason I shouldn't be. I mean, I always have this stuff with me. I guess it's time. I mean, as little time as it is, it's just kind of a hassle,
Mm-hmm.
especially if I'm like out with friends and I'm like low or whatever, and then I have to step away or handle it and things like that. So it's just more so of an annoyance, and I feel like it bothers other people when I pull my insulin and stuff out.
Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like what I'm hearing is it feels like it brings attention on you when you are
hmm
out with friends and you have to, take your medication, and that you can see how that can be kind of uncomfortable to bring that out in public places or around friends. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I guess in thinking, 10 years from now, what would be the consequences if you continue to not take your medication?
I mean, really, one of the biggest ones is death. And so my doctors and family and friends have really brought that up more in the past few months, that I'm heading down a path that could kill me. And it just leads to a bunch of other medical issues that would cause the need for more medication and more hospitalization, and not really being able to live the life I want.
Mm-hmm. So what is the life that you want? If you woke up tomorrow and, life was the way you want it to be, what would that look like?
Well, first, I wouldn't have diabetes and have to take insulin, so that would be my main one. Being able to eat when I want, what I want, without having to worry that it's going to impact my blood sugar and things like that, and just being less stressed about it all, and my family being less concerned, and just being able to live completely independent, where right now I feel like I can't.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, there are things in life that we can control and cannot control. And unfortunately, having diabetes is one of those things that you can't control, whether you have it or not. But you can control the effects of, the symptoms by taking your medication. And so maybe, do you think if there were other ways to take your medication that didn't necessarily interfere with your social activities or feel like all eyes are on you, would you be more willing to take the medication?
Yeah, I think so. Or just maybe even informing my friends really what it all entails.
Mm-hmm.
And so they would maybe be more understanding. I mean, no one's ever said anything, but I just feel like if I ever pull out my medication, that they're staring and watching, but don't really get what it's for.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I think that's a great idea on what you just said, kind of talking to your friends that you feel comfortable with and kind of explaining the process. Like this step is me checking my blood sugar and this is what this does. And, because a lot of times people may look at something because they're trying to understand it because it's something new to them. So that might ease, like you said, that curiosity on their part, and it'll become, kind of that natural habit that, that's just something that you do, and this is why, to keep yourself healthy.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know I need to take it, otherwise the symptoms and side effects just will make life even more miserable than just having to take medication.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I know I need to. I guess it's just being more comfortable and not really worrying what other people think, I guess, and just reminding myself that if I want to uh, if I want to keep living the life that I want, I have to. This is just something I have to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And, it doesn't mean that, because, getting into that habit again, I'm sure is going to take some time. So setting small goals for yourself to achieve that. So not expecting yourself to, starting tomorrow, I will take my medication all the time, because, there are times that you might forget or, whatever the case is. So setting goals for yourself. So maybe you could track how often you're taking it. I know that there are a lot of apps on, phones that are like a medication tracker. And so you can kind of assess how many times you're missing it over the week. And making the goal of, okay, this week I missed taking my medication 5 times. So next week I'm going to try and only miss it 4 times. So
Yeah.
making those small steps so you're not completely discouraged if you do forget it one day, or you just are finding it difficult to take it in front of your friends.
Yeah, I definitely think that's something I can do, and a reminder will definitely help, because I know sometimes I'm just so busy and
Mm-hmm.
I can feel the symptoms, but stopping what I'm doing just doesn't seem like an option. But if I have that reminder that I need to, I think that will definitely help.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so how do you think, if you did start taking your medication regularly, how do you think that'll affect your relationship with your family and friends?
I mean, I think they'll trust me more that I'm taking the necessary steps to take care of myself, and over time they'll be less stressed and worried, and we can go back to having good conversation and hanging out without it always leaning back to, am I taking my medication? Am I taking care of myself? And so I think overall our relationships will be stronger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Um, so with taking the medication, I know you've mentioned several times that independence is really important to you, and having that. So is there anything else going on that you feel like impedes on that, that makes you have that feeling of not having independence?
I mean, I guess right now, since I'm not taking my medication, my doctor wants me to come in every week, and that they're kind of making me do that. Um, so that takes away from my independence a little, and being able to schedule things with friends or taking time off work to go to these appointments.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time, I'm fine when I go, and so it's really just kind of an annoyance, and I feel like I can't control if I go or not, because he's forcing to make me go into the hospital sometimes to make
Yeah.
sure I'm getting back on track with medication and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I guess just the constant checking in from family and friends that I'm still alive or that I've taken my medication. I think I'll feel more independent and on my own once those messages stop coming in, that they
Yeah.
feel they can trust me.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. So it sounds like the benefits that you're identifying of taking your medication again is you'll have your independence back. You won't have to go in and out of the hospital as frequently or go to appointments, which means that you'll be able to work more often. You'll be able to spend more time with your friends and not feel that discomfort or, you know, that like that almost like a fear of having, oh my gosh, I have to take this medication now. And it also sounds like it will help just your overall how you feel every day. You won't feel tired. You won't feel, you'll feel good, and you'll probably be able to get
Mm-hmm.
more things that you want to get done throughout the day.
Yeah, and that's definitely something I want, is to feel healthy and normal, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I guess that is definitely something we can work on, are different ideas on how to take your medication. We can, maybe this next week you can try, picking one friend and starting there and kind of going through that process of, checking your blood sugar and taking your medication. Go through that with your friend and explain to them why, and see how that goes. And that can be, if you, yeah, that's something you want, like that can be your goal for this next week.
Yeah, I definitely think telling at least one friend will help, and then there'll be one less person, I feel like, that's staring at me. And then definitely think downloading one of those apps is something I should do as well, to better keep track of my medication and things like that.
Okay, good. So it sounds like you're getting off to a good start. And you have some goals that you have for yourself for this week. So next week we can check back in and see kind of how those went. We can kind of look at if there were any barriers to those goals, and then if there were, what are some things that you can do to overcome those barriers.
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan.
All right, great. Well, I hope you have a good week, and I will see you same time next Saturday.
Great. Sounds good. Thank you.
You.